Well, it's a day ending in Y, so it must be time to talk about RFK Jr. again. We've already gone over his history of being an anti-vaccine psycho, and if you know anything about the current state of the anti-vaccine movement, then you know that that means he's also going to be a psycho about autism. For years now, people have claimed without any evidence at all that vaccines cause autism. Every major study done over the past several decades has conclusively shown that that is not true. In the early days, conspiracy theorists blamed it on thimerosal, and even though there was, again, no evidence that that caused autism, vaccine manufacturers removed it from the vaccines, and there was, surprise, no change to the rate of autism. But despite all of this, possibly because RFK Jr. has a parasitic worm rotting in his brain, he announced back in March that he was going to waste a bunch of our tax dollars studying the non-existent link between vaccines and autism. And then he one-upped himself by holding a press conference last week where he announced that autism destroys families and is an individual tragedy as well. He said that many autistic children were fully functional until they regressed into autism when they were 2 years old. And then the piece de resistance, he said, and these are kids who will never pay taxes, they'll never hold a job, they'll never play baseball, they'll never write a poem, they'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. Serious question, can RFK Jr. use a toilet unassisted? I honestly don't know one way or the other, but regardless, an inability to do so would not be an individual tragedy for him, nor would it destroy his family. I'd say that all the stupid shit he's done in the past several decades is a tragedy that has destroyed his family, and several of his own family members agree with me on that, but it's got fuck all to do with using the toilet or writing poetry, I assure you. Anyway, he also said most cases of autism now are severe. 25% of the kids who are diagnosed with autism are nonverbal, non-toilet trained, and have other stereotypical features. As PBS fact-checked, there are many autistic people who are profoundly affected by it, but the largest number they could find was a 2023 report that cited 26.7% of 8-year-olds whose autism was considered profound, meaning that they were nonverbal, minimally verbal, or had an IQ below 50. RFK made it sound like they have all of those things all the time, but that is absolutely not correct. For instance, the number of autistic kids who need help bathing and dressing was found in another study to only be about 7%. And another study found that about 10% of autistic kids had incontinence of some sort. Some of the numbers, like nearly 27% of kids being considered profoundly autistic, may still sound high, but that's the highest figure out there, and it's a tough figure to pinpoint because we don't know how many people out there are undiagnosed. Profound as a category is new, and the definition is still in flux and not universally accepted. And that figure involved children who could potentially grow up to improve their verbal skills. We absolutely should mock RFK Jr. for his fear-mongering because his words definitely implied that severe, life-altering autism is way more common than it is. Autism is a spectrum, and there are millions of Americans living full, rich lives despite, or often even because, they are on the spectrum. At the same time, I don't want to dismiss the experience of those people who are profoundly autistic or who have profoundly autistic children, who will likely need a lifetime of 24/7 care. Instead of talking about these families as being destroyed by tragedy, though, we should be giving them unlimited support. We should be giving them health care, housing, assistance, whatever they need, so that everyone involved can live a rich and rewarding life, even if they never pay taxes. Because paying taxes isn't how we assign worth to a human life, which, honestly, is quite a lucky thing for RFK Jr. and his billionaire pals. But wait, there's more, because as I was putting together this video, RFK Jr. upped the ante by announcing that as part of his bullshit, pointless effort to study the non-existent link between vaccines and autism, he will be compiling a massive database of medical information for millions of Americans, which will include medication records from pharmacy chains, lab testing and genomics data from patients treated by the Department of Veterans Affairs and Indian Health Service, claims from private insurers, and data from smartwatches and fitness trackers. And what are they going to do with that data? Well, they're going to create an autism registry, of course, in which they can track and monitor autistic Americans in real time. Well, that sounds just fine, and definitely not like something literal Nazis did during the Holocaust, when about 250,000 people deemed to have mental or physical disabilities were singled out and executed because their perceived disabilities were considered a tragedy that was destroying good German families and society as a whole. It's not a dog whistle so much as it is a train whistle. And so it's no surprise that, as Rolling Stone reported, the parents of autistic children flooded the phone lines of their medical offices asking to have records destroyed, while others canceled diagnostic exams, leaving those children without access to the care that they might need to thrive. That Rolling Stone article is quite good. I recommend you check it out. As always, links to everything I discuss in every video are located in the transcript, which is linked below. It's over at patreon.com/Rebecca or at skepchick.org. It's a great article, though, because it includes the important addition that registries are rather common. Registries can be very important for research purposes and for improving therapies for people. And in a perfect world, the data would be divorced from any actual identities and treated very carefully. But we do not live in a perfect world. We don't even live in a kind of shitty world. We live in a world where our government officials are planning and implementing the mass murder of civilians in a foreign country using a group chat on the Signal app, and they accidentally added a journalist to the group chat. These are not serious people who care about your privacy. These are grifters and Nazis who care about money and white supremacy. And they aren't even planning to use this registry to conduct useful research on autism. They already told us they're planning to use it to study a stupid conspiracy theory that has been debunked over and over and over again. Might they use it for actual beneficial research at some point? Sure, maybe, but they also might hand it over to Elon Musk so he can fine-tune Neuralink's AI-powered chip that's going to solve autism. It's been a while since I read it, but I'm pretty sure that that's how 1984 ends, right? Like Winston gets a chip implanted in his brain to cure his autism, and then he realizes he actually loves the party. It was a happy ending, right? Anyway, I'm not saying that you should panic or if you're an autistic person or you have an autistic child, but it might be a good idea to talk to your doctor about what data they have on you and or your child and what you might be able to delete. Also, delete any apps on your phone that might be sharing data that you don't want shared. Normally, that's advice that, we spread about menstruation in order to protect people who get pregnant, but I don't know, it might be worth thinking about that for other conditions that are going to be under the microscope. Okay, that's it for this month's RFK Jr. update. And hey, happy Autism Awareness Month, everyone. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you think the world could use more videos like this and you happen to have a few bucks laying around, head to patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people whose names you see on the screen right now. Thanks.